Hey again, everybody. This is Edwin, the Magic Engineer, and...
Hi, I'm Chris Wilson. I founded Grinding Gear Games, and I play Magic.
And we're here at GP Vegas right now, 2018, and a bunch of guys in the room are playing old school right over here.
Edwin! Woo! Take it off! Take it off!
Okay, here we go.
Basic strategy says hit that!
So I was getting a chance to talk with Chris here about Magic and how much he enjoys it. We'll talk about how awesome his game is for Path of Exile. I know a lot of you guys out there play it, and I hear nothing but positive things about it. But right now, I actually want to talk about Magic the Gathering a little bit. And so, Chris, what do you think about the old school format?
I love old school a lot. When I started playing Vintage back in 2003 or so, it was very plausible to play a variant of the deck still. I mean, some people called it Keeper, and it had a few newer cards like Morphling, but it was essentially the deck in terms of how it was played.
Yeah.
And so over time, Vintage morphed. It's not quite the same beast anymore. It's a lot harder to pilot, I feel.
Yeah.
And so I haven't really been keeping up with Vintage's metagame. So because of that, old school is a perfect way to play the deck that I'm good at.
You know, I remember when Keeper was a big thing. I always personally viewed it, I don't know if this is correct, but I always thought it was basically Keeper was Brian Weissman's The Deck morphed into that format to be viable. That's what I always thought Keeper was. Is that effectively what it was, you think?
Brian will tell me that I'm 100% wrong, but I viewed it that way as well.
Okay, so we're at least not on the different page there.
Yeah, it plays a lot. Like, the concept of kind of deck destruction. You incrementally get control, you attack the mana base, you attack the cards in hand, you attack the creatures, there's silver bullets for everything. It's a totally different playstyle to most control decks.
Yeah. Yeah, the thing that I remember thinking it was the most like, all I could think of was Brian Weissman's deck. Like, nothing else seemed to like really play and have that kind of feel and that style to it.
Yeah, I understand. And a lot of the pieces got swapped out, of course. You know, like Sarah Angel turned into Morphling and so on.
Yes, Superman, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, Superman. He was a great card. Those are like cheap now. I just bought some Supermans the other day for like $1 each or something. I don't remember. It was really cheap. They were almost nothing. So I'm trying to talk Chris into playing old school tomorrow during the tournament. He didn't bring a deck with him, but we've got plenty of decks, and I'm thinking...
It's really tempting to borrow one.
Yeah, we've got a lot of good stuff we could get you in there.
Part of the reason is, when I last played a lot of old school, about a year and a half ago, the version of the deck still had red in it, so I'm very comfortable with that version. But Brian's been pioneering the non-red version, and I feel it's strictly superior. The problem is I'm not good at playing it yet, and so I worry that I'm at a big metagame disadvantage, and I flunk the tournament, you know?
Well, what I usually do in those situations is I just focus so much on how much fun I'm going to have at the tournament and who I get to play against. And when I focus on it like that, it just doesn't even matter if I take dead last. Like, I'm in a tournament playing all my power cards and playing against other people who love old school, so it's just like, it's like a no-lose situation.
Well, at the very least, I'll enjoy watching the bits that I watch of it, even if I don't get a chance to play myself.
Yeah,
and knowing you guys, I'll be hearing stories about the games for the next 4 days.
Probably. We're probably going to have video content from this event, like in Vegas, just for months. That's kind of how we roll.
Every time anything's happening, two people break out cameras and start recording it.
Yeah, it's like all these cool things are happening, like right around us. We can't miss it. Like, check out the back of Rudy's neck. Isn't that amazing? Look at that. And that's the back of his head right there. Can you believe that? And that's his hand.
That's a good hand.
Keep that.
Yeah, he should. That's actually
destroyed me.
That's actually a pretty good hand.
Huh?
Yeah. So, do you ever play Legacy?
I've tried a few Legacy tournaments. Every single one I placed last or close to last.
Legacy's tough.
Yeah, the play skill of the Legacy players in New Zealand is extreme. They know the format back to back, right?
Really?
Like, I will pick a deck. I've tried lands. I've tried the blue one that does all of its stuff at the end of their turn that involves brain freeze. Oh, High Tide, that's it.
Yeah.
I've tried that one, I've tried various other ones, and each time I do so poorly it's a bit discouraging, but it's because I don't know the metagame well. When the opponent plays a blue to Delta, I should be able to say exactly what deck they're on, and instead I get destroyed by them dropping something on turn 2 that I wasn't expecting.
So it's probably just a case of needing to do it more, but you're probably really busy with game development and stuff like that.
It is a rough schedule, but I do try to maintain a collection that allows me to play Legacy without having to be blocked by deck choices.
You know, I can really honestly feel your pain though, because like I have the same problem. Like, I get so busy with my career that Magic just slides off to the side, and like I personally put like, you know, family first and then job, and then Magic comes after that. So when time gets thin, I spend time with my wife and daughter, and like Magic just falls down the list and I just don't get to play. So I imagine you fall into a boat kind of like that.
Yeah, it's pretty rough, but it's good to find some time each year. I mean, I played in a vintage tournament in Australia a few months ago, and that was a lot of fun. Yeah, flew over to Australia to
What
play
did
with
you
some
play?
friends there. I was playing a really, like, it's basically a modern variant of Dark Times, so it's a black deck that tries extremely hard to compromise their mana base heavily while occasionally dropping a 20/20 Merit Lage. And I just went all in on the mana destruction because it was a proxy environment with a group of people that weren't 100% experienced with Vintage. And, I mean, a few of them were very good, of course, but there were a few people there who were trying it out with proxies. And that meant that they weren't really expecting Noldor to just shut everything off, and then to be systematically wasting on their important lands and then get a Crucible lock and then drop a 20/20. So I played it more as a troll thing to get, you know, cheap thrills from destroying people with low tricks.
You know, I think that's a pretty important thing actually in the format, because sometimes like I'll notice an entire metagame will shift so far over to one direction that it's like everybody is just like, it's like everyone forgets that aggro can exist, or that Sly can exist, or that some other archetypes like are out there, and so everyone focuses on like one or two like kinds of decks, and then they all play sideboards against those. Like, remember there was a Vintage tournament a few years ago, where somebody played a Merfolk deck and they won.
Right.
And that kind of like took the world by surprise, because everyone's thinking it's got to be Storm or Combo or something. And then Merfolk comes in.
You get free Island Walk, right? And that's powerful, right?
Yeah.
Island Walk is unblockable, and that's what except against workshops or something, you know?
Yeah, so I personally kind of think, I've always believed, at least recently, that Legacy has kind of meted itself into a corner, and I'm just honestly waiting for a moment where somebody shows up with just something simple, like just like a white weenie deck, or I don't know, something that like is fairly straightforward and no one's got an answer for it, because everyone's playing mental missteps, expecting the other guy to do like a 1-drop spell or something, and the guy does like a 2/2 bear or something, and then the other guy can't deal with it because it's just like hordes of bears. I don't know. It seems like Legacy is going to meta itself right into a corner. I'm kind of waiting for that, but I haven't seen it happen yet.
Yeah, I don't know enough about the format to comment on that one, but it certainly does seem that it's similar to how it was a few years ago.
Yeah, it hasn't changed very much at all. Okay, well my arm is about to collapse here because I'm holding up the phone, so sorry for it shaking. So I'm going to end this video. Thanks everyone. Say bye everybody.
Love you, long time.
Bye.
Touch me.